This is DRF Race of the Day.
Hi everybody, Mike Beer here with your DRF Race of the Day for Sunday, October 17th. We have Grade 1 action up in Canada at Woodbine. The race of the day is race number 8, the Grade 1 EP Taylor. For fillies and mares, they're going to go 1.25 miles on the turf up there at Woodbine. Here's your field. 10 solid fillies and mares entered for this edition of the EP Taylor, a major race up there in Canada. Really well-matched field. Just a quick reminder, get your free DRF formulator past performances for this EP Taylor at the Race of the Day event page at drf.com, and take a look at this race because it's a very interesting one. As usual for a Grade 1 turf race in North America, trainer Chad Brown very well represented. He has 3 horses in this field, including the 2 morning line favorites. The number 2 Etoile is 5-2. The number 8 Great Island is 3-1. They're your 2 morning line favorites, both trained by Chad Brown. Etoile is the defending champ of this EP Taylor. She won the race last year. I feel like this might be a little bit of a tougher race for Etoile, but you know, she ran fine winning this race last year. She makes plenty of sense in this race. I don't think she's necessarily some kind of huge standout in here, but I feel like she's exiting a prep for this race in her most recent start, where maybe she ran a little bit better than it looks. She's very lightly raced so far this year. So this will only be her 3rd start of 2021, and it does sort of feel like perhaps Chad has pointed her back for this race to defend this title. We'll see if she can do it. Let's take a look at the Time Form US pace projector for the EP Taylor. Not a lot of pace on in here. The number 5 Family Way is projected to be out there on a clear early lead at the pace call. We'll see if she can take advantage of that. I don't really want to knock Family Way, who's going to be a good price in this race and is coming off of a pretty nice win going long at Kentucky Downs. I just wonder if maybe she's not stepping up into a much tougher race here as she steps into a Grade 1 race against some really top fillies and mares. We'll see. I thought she ran fine. I thought her form heading into that race at Kentucky Downs last time, I thought her form was actually pretty good leading into that race. I just feel like this might be a little bit of a tougher spot, and I didn't necessarily see her getting absolutely loose on the lead in here because I feel like horses like the number 6 Muta Makina certainly have enough early speed to keep her within range, as does the number 10 La Dragon T. You're not ever sure how they're going to ride La Dragon T. She's won from on the lead. She's won from well off of it as well. But she certainly could be forward in this race. Muta Makina could be forward as well. So we'll see how this pace plays out. Maybe they won't go too fast in here. I'd be surprised if they just were walking on the early lead, though. I think there are enough horses that could go forward in here to make this pace at least honest. And that could certainly work against Family Way. Let's start off by looking at the most recent local prep race for this race, because 4 of these fillies and mares are exiting that Dance Smartly that was just mentioned before, that was won by the number 6 Muta Makina. We'll take a look at the replay of that race right now. Muta Makina got a great trip in here. They put her right up on the pace from the start of this race. Now, I'll give her a little bit of extra credit perhaps, because even though the fractions don't look that fast, they weren't exactly walking up there. I thought this pace was honest, and Muta Makina kept after it all the way while everybody else sort of sat back off it. Muta Makina takes this race over in the stretches you see. She's very game down to the wire. Once she gets clear, she just keeps staying on, keeps finding. She jumps to a wrong lead, but it doesn't matter. She's not going to let Etoile, who is eventually going to get up for second there, she's not letting her get up towards the front end here at the end of the race. I thought this was a good performance from Muta Makina, and I just feel like there's plenty to recommend Muta Makina as a win candidate right back in this EP Taylor. Her form since she arrived in North America for trainer Christophe Clement is very good. She's a very versatile filly. Distance is no problem for her. She can race right up close to the pace, or you can take her back. You can sort of do whatever you want with her. I feel like she's a major player in this race. I wound up not picking her, but I definitely feel like this is a horse you could easily make a case for. As far as Etoile goes in that prep race there, the Dance Smartly, I just felt like she ran okay in there. I'm not a big fan of hers. I haven't really liked any of her races since she's arrived in North America for Chad Brown. But, going back and watching the full replay of that Dance Smartly last time, she got caught 3 wide around the first turn, and it just sort of looked like Irad Ortiz did not want her to get stuck on the outside for that entire trip. So once they got into the backstretch, she just took her back, gave away some position in order to get her over towards the inside to save some ground. And by doing that, he might have actually given away a little bit too much position. You saw how game she was in the stretch there once she altered out into the clear, trying to catch Muta Makina. She couldn't get up, but I thought she ran okay in that race. Is it enough to make me want to bet her back as the favorite in this EP Taylor? It's not. But I do feel like she ran okay in that race, and I do respect her in here and think she has a real chance to win it. Speaking of the number 10 La Dragon T and local prep races for this EP Taylor, let's move on to her, because this is another filly who arrived stateside earlier this year for trainer Christophe Clement, and her form's just been really good. She made her stateside debut going this 1.25 mile distance at Belmont Park in an allowance race and won very handily and very impressively that day. They put her right on the lead. She rated it all the way around the track under a very confident ride, and she sort of was just ridden out at the end of that race. I thought that was a good performance. Her very next start, they cut her back in distance. California Queen, who's also back in this race, wound up beating her. But La Dragon T got into a lot of traffic in that race after they took her back and had trouble getting clear in the stretch. She ran a lot better than it looks. Most recently, they prepped for this race in the Grade 2 Canadian, and let's take a look at that. This is last September. Here at Woodbine, they put her, again, right up on a very slow pacer. They were absolutely walking on the lead. La Dragon T used her good tactical speed to sit right up close. And you see in the stretch how confidently Joel Rosario was riding her. He just let her get surrounded by challengers for some reason. And then he finally set her down, and she had plenty left to kick away from that field. Another impressive win for her. She really did, though, have all the best of it that day, sitting right up on a slow pace. And I feel like they're going to go a little bit quicker in here. That doesn't have to work against her. She has shown that she can run from off of a solid pace as well. You have to really respect her versatility. And I think La Dragon T is a very fair price at the 8-1 morning line. If she stays around there, I have no argument with anybody who wants to bet her. We'll see. I didn't wind up siding with her either, but at that price, I'm not going to argue with that. I felt like there was a chance she could take more money than that, but we'll see how they wind up betting the race. The number 8 is another one of the Chad Brown fillies in here, Great Island. This is a filly who stretched out for the first time in her most recent start, the Grade 1 Flower Bowl, up at Saratoga. I guess she ran okay in that race. She got a really good trip. She was only second best at the end of the day, behind the divisional leader here, Warlike Goddess, who feels like she's sort of the standout right now in the longer distance filly and mare turf division here in the United States. Great Island ran okay in that race, 2 starts back. They ran her in the Grade 3 Matchmaker. This is a 9 furlong race. We're going to take a look at the replay of that right now. They took her back to last early in this race. And you're just going to see her come with a flying finish through the stretcher. This is a really impressive win, I thought, for Great Island. That's California Queen, who made the first run to go after favored Juliet Foxtrot in the stretch there. California Queen actually ran very well in here to collar Juliet Foxtrot and get to the lead late, but she just cannot withstand this big late finish from Great Island. This was a really impressive performance, I felt like, for Great Island. Definitely a step in the right direction. She perhaps even improved again last time in the Flower Bowl. I just didn't love that performance from her, and if she's going to be around the 3-1 morning line, I just wanted to look for other horses in here. The 2 Chad Brown fillies are obviously okay, and either one of them could win. I just wanted somebody else at a better price, and I wound up going down to the number 1 down on the rail, Waliak. This is a foreign import shipping in for trainer Roger Varian, who has won this EP Taylor before. I think back in 2018 he shipped over to win this race. So he seems to know which horses he wants to bring over here. Waliak is coming over here in, I think, the best form of her career. 2 stakes wins from her last 3 starts over there in Europe. She has won previously going 1.25 miles as a 3-year-old. This year they've concentrated on shorter races for her. It's worked out fine. She won a stakes race 3 starts back. She won a Group 3 last time at 9 furlongs. I thought she ran really well last time. Showed really good positional speed in there, got forward right from the start up the inside, took that race over in the straight, and just was very game to the finish. Won very easily, I thought. Her effort 2 starts back is even a better effort than it looks, I think, because she totally missed the break in that Group 3 going 1 mile and wound up way back off the pace. Had a lot of work to do in the late stages of that race, and she was finishing very gamely to get up for second behind Saffron Beach. Saffron Beach, a 3-year-old filly who would come back in her next start to win a major Group 1 race over there in England. So I think Waliak just comes over to this race in really good form. I'm not really concerned about Varian stretching her back out in distance. She has shown in the past that she can handle the 1.25 mile distance. And I feel like if she gets out of the gate in this spot, she has, the really good tactical speed that she showed last time, where she could just sort of sit up close and maybe get the right trip in this race. I like the 8-1 morning line price for her as well, in a race where I'm just not, totally thrilled with the favorites. I'm going to try to take somebody else in this race, and I wound up taking Waliak on top. I went 1, 4, 2, and 10 in your Sunday DRF race of the day. It's a good one. It's the Grade 1 EP Taylor up at Woodbine. The approximate post time is at 4:37 Eastern time. It's race number 8. Good luck.